one final question?
Excuse me, I was wondering, it's probably a dragon, but what would be your favorite mythical creature?
Yeah, you nailed it, a dragon.
Dragon.
It would have to be a dragon. I love dragons. Always wanted to fly on one.
I have a question.
Sure.
Insert a quick commercial, if I may, for Homeschool.com. I want to invite everyone to become product testers for Homeschool.com. We'll have information for that coming up this summer. So any of you who are interested can test video games, curriculum, reading materials, Legos, a variety of different products for homeschoolers, and you can give your advice on those. And if you enjoyed this type of teleclass experience, please take a look at Homeschool.com this summer, because we're going to be offering homeschooling how-to classes, homeschooling through high school, homeschooling on the younger child, a different variety of teleclasses that you can participate in. So thank you again, Christopher, for being with us. What a very fun experience, the first time we've ever done this.
Well, my pleasure, and I just want to thank everyone for coming and listening to this. And, everyone, thumbs up to homeschooling all around. It's a wonderful thing, and kudos to all you parents out there who have the courage to try it. And, as Aragon himself would say, the owners sverdar sitya havas.
Well, on the count of three, everyone say good luck to Christopher for book 2.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And God bless you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and good luck, buddy.
Bye.
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 Where can I find your address?
Excuse me?
To send you a letter.
The best way to get in contact with me is to write to me in care of Knopf, my publisher at Random House, and they'll forward the mail directly to me.
Hey, this might have been asked already, but how did you manage to convince the publisher to take on your book? I mean, I've heard they don't really do that very often.
Well, I was lucky enough that an author who was published by this company, Carl Hyacin, he was vacationing in Montana, and his son read a copy of the book and loved it so much that his dad recommended it to...
Oh, you got vouched for. Oh, that's easy.
That's right. It was wonderful.
Oh, all right.
Are you planning on
Christopher?
Yes.
What would you suggest? Would you suggest typing out a book or just handwriting it?
Well, you know what? I do both methods. I wrote the first 60 pages of Aragon in cursive, and then I ended up doing the rest of the book pretty much in the computer, since I didn't know how to type when I started. And I still nowadays, last night I was writing by hand. This morning I typed it in. Now I'm working on the computer for the rest of the day. So,
I guess it would make it easier if you have it out on paper to add notes on the side, right?
Whatever works. Whatever works. I have separate files for my notes on the computer, so that since I have about 120 pages of notes, so...
Wow.
Yeah, it adds up after a while.
Are you planning on having any kids, and are you going to homeschool them?
If I do have kids,
question.
I definitely plan on homeschooling them someday. I wouldn't do it any other way.
Why'd you kill Brom?
Why did I kill Brom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good question.
Oh, well, I hated to do it, but for two reasons. The first of all is that if Brom had stayed alive, he would have continued to do things for Aragon, because he was better at them. And Aragon would never completely grow up until he had a chance to, fight and learn and struggle on his own.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Killing the mentor, that's always fun.
Yeah, that's what my sister says.
Hey, excuse me, did you ever grow up with a dog or something?
I have two pets, a dog named Annie, who's a wonderful mutt and who terrorizes all the little furry things around here. And we have a cat named Otis, and we used to have a cat named Milo, but he died quite a while ago.
What?
Aw.
Yeah, aw.
We have two cats. We have two cats, Ping and Pong. Our dog loves to tackle them.
Yeah.
Play football.
I have a question. Are you planning on coming to Alaska?
I used to live in Alaska.
Wow.
Actually used to live in Anchorage.
Is it cold there?
Twice, no less.
I live in Anchorage.
Really? Well, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't plan to come to Alaska anytime within the year, but maybe when book 2 comes out, my publisher might send me up there to do some book signings.
Hey, if you ever looked at the Aragorn fan set, I'm the person who asked if you'd ever come to Puerto Rico. Would you ever consider that?
My dad just read me your post. Was it yesterday, day before?
I guess so.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, most of where I go is up to my publisher, and also, people who ask the publisher to send me places. So the publisher gets all these requests, and then they decide where to send me, depending on how much the people beg.
No one ever comes here.
And that might be reason enough to get me down there.
That's cool.
I've heard that the book tours can be pretty exhausting. Was it hard on you, or was it okay? I mean, you've taken 3 of them.
Gulags. They're brutal.
Oh.
I mean, on one hand, it's wonderful to meet the people who have enjoyed the book and supported it, the teachers, the librarians, the sellers, and the fans. But the schedules of the book tour themselves are absolutely horrendous. Oftentimes, it's 3 cities in 2 days.
Wow.
Or more. And, of course, those early morning flights where you have to get to the airport by, 6 in the morning or something.
How did you like Jay Leno and David Letterman? Were they nice?
Well, actually, I wasn't on Jay Leno, but I was on David Letterman in the Today Show. I didn't get to talk with Letterman very much, but he was very nice and very tall, very large man.
Oh.
And the thing that you can never tell on television when you watch the show is that the band on the show is deafening at a rock concert level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it kind of shocked me, actually.
You mentioned on the David Letterman interview that you had given yourself a sword to celebrate the success of the book, and that you have your own forge at home.
That's right. I got myself a replica of a Viking sword from the Battle of Stiklestad in 1036 A.D., and I have built myself a forge out here. And actually, we just got our stove replaced in our house, so I took our old stove, and I'm turning that into my new forge right now.
Did they give you quite a bit of media coaching for these interviews?
Not really. I spent, because I spent an entire year promoting the self-published version of Aragon, I made pretty much all the mistakes I was going to make in places where it didn't get national attention. And then when it came time for the Random House version of the book, my publicist sat down with me, went over a few things, basically brushed up on some points on speaking in public, but other than that, they didn't really bother with too much training.
So you were pretty comfortable with those interviews?
Well, I'm not saying I'm comfortable, but I can do them.
I guess you really have to, too, if you want to have a best-selling book. It isn't enough just to write a great book, but you really have to promote it.
Yeah, it's 2 different skills. I mean, writing a good book and being able to promote it, one's, literature, the other one's showmanship. And I'm lucky enough that I happen to do fairly well with both areas of that.
Did you really go out with your father for a year traveling across the country speaking at schools?
And I did over 135 events, most of which, as you mentioned, I did in medieval costume. And it was very intense and very time-consuming, but it was fun as well, because that was when I really got to see the fans and the readers of the book and how people were falling in love with it.
How old were you at that point?
18.
18. And how many copies of the book?
19.
And how many copies of the book, self-published, had you sold?
I'm actually not allowed to tell.
Oh, interesting.
Sworn to secrecy by my contract with SNOF. But I can tell you that we sold as many or more than many regular hardcover releases.
And this was part of the time when your whole family was behind the book and all your financial resources were geared towards it.
Correct.
Going out on that tour.
I would do anything to sell a book then. I did a book signing at a grocery store once. I once arm wrestled a guy to sell him a book. And I won, too, no less. I met a woman once who she loved Aragon so much, she named her pet tarantula after Saphira.
Oh, my gosh.
It was kind of scary, actually. Here's Saphira, and here's this huge spider.
It must have been a great bonding experience for you and your father.
And my mom. She took me some places as well.
Oh, she did, too?
Yep. Yeah.
I wish we could have interviewed your mother and Angela and your father. I would love to speak with them too.
Well, our family's pretty protective of their